Fiat currency is government-issued money not backed by a physical commodity like gold or silver. Its value is derived from the trust and faith that individuals and institutions place in the government that issues it. Simply put, fiat money is valuable because we collectively agree that it is. But this wasn't always the case. Let's go back in time. For centuries, human civilizations used commodity money, physical items with intrinsic value like gold, silver, and even salt. These items were scarce and tangible, making them a reliable medium of exchange. The gold standard, introduced in the 19th century, linked a country's currency to a specific amount of gold. You could walk into a bank with a paper note and redeem it for real gold. But then came a dramatic shift. In 1971, U.S. President Richard Nixon announced the suspension of the dollar's convertibility into gold, effectively ending the Bretton Woods system. This marked the official rise of fiat currency, money with no intrinsic value, backed only by government decree. Why did this happen? Flexibility. Fiat money gave central banks the power to control the money supply, manage inflation, and stimulate economic growth. It allowed for more responsive economic policy, especially during times of crisis. And for a while, it worked. Economies expanded, global trade flourished, and financial systems became more interconnected than ever. However, with great power comes great responsibility, and potential misuse. The problem lies in the fact that governments can print fiat money at will. When money supply increases faster than economic output, inflation occurs. Prices rise, purchasing power falls, and the money in your wallet buys you less. While moderate inflation is considered normal, excessive money printing can lead to economic disaster. Take Zimbabwe in the late 2000s. The government printed trillions of Zimbabwean dollars in an attempt to pay off debts and stimulate the economy. The result? Hyperinflation. At its peak, prices doubled every 24 hours. Citizens carried sacks of money just to buy bread. The currency became so worthless that people used it as wallpaper or toilet paper. Another example is the Weimar Republic in post-World War I Germany. To pay war reparations, the German government printed massive amounts of money. Inflation spiraled out of control, and the German mark became virtually worthless. These historical cases highlight the inherent risks of fiat systems when trust erodes and governments lose fiscal discipline. But it's not just about hyperinflation. Even in stable economies, fiat currencies are under pressure. Consider the United States. Since the 2008 financial crisis, the Federal Reserve has engaged in multiple rounds of quantitative easing, essentially creating money to buy government bonds and inject liquidity into the system. While this helped stabilize markets, it also ballooned the money supply and national debt. As of 2025, the U.S. national debt exceeds $34 trillion. That's more than the entire GDP of the country. And while the U.S. dollar remains the world's reserve currency, cracks are forming in the foundation. Other countries are starting to diversify away from the dollar. Central banks around the world are buying gold at record levels, hedging against fiat risk. Then there's inflation. In recent years, global inflation has surged due to a mix of supply chain disruptions, geopolitical tensions, and expansive monetary policy. Consumers are feeling the pinch. Everyday essentials, food, housing, fuel, are becoming more expensive. People are beginning to question the very system that governs their economic lives. So what happens when trust in fiat currency erodes? People look for alternatives. One of the most notable responses has been the rise of cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, created in 2009, was born from the ashes of the global financial crisis. Its creator, Satoshi Nakamoto, envisioned a decentralized digital currency not subject to government manipulation. With a fixed supply of 21 million coins, Bitcoin offers scarcity, something fiat currency lacks. Over the past decade, cryptocurrencies have gained significant traction. While still volatile and speculative, they've opened the door to a new form of money, one that operates outside the traditional financial system. For many, Bitcoin represents financial sovereignty, a hedge against inflation, and a form of digital gold. Meanwhile, central banks are not standing still. Many are developing central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs. These are digital versions of fiat money, issued and controlled by the state. China has already launched its digital yuan. The European Central Bank and the US Federal Reserve are exploring similar paths. But here's the paradox. While CBDCs offer efficiency and technological advancement, they may also raise privacy and control concerns. With programmable money, governments could potentially track every transaction, freeze accounts, or even set expiration dates on funds. It's a new frontier, one that could redefine the relationship between citizens and the state. So where does all this leave fiat currency? It's still the dominant form of money. Most of the world's transactions are conducted in fiat. It's deeply integrated into our financial systems, from banking and lending to taxes and salaries. But its foundation, trust, is being tested like never before. We're at a crossroads. One path leads to reform, more responsible monetary policy, better fiscal discipline, and innovation within the fiat system. The other path leans toward disruption, cryptocurrencies, decentralized finance, and potentially a complete rethinking of money itself. The truth is, no system is perfect. Fiat currency has enabled unprecedented economic growth and lifted billions out of poverty. But it has also enabled reckless spending, inequality, and financial instability. As the world evolves, so too must our money. In the end, the question isn't whether fiat currency will disappear overnight. It's about whether it can adapt, and whether people will continue to believe in it. Because once trust is lost, it's incredibly hard to regain. So the next time you hold a dollar, euro, or yen in your hand, ask yourself, what gives it value? Is it the paper, the ink, the government, or simply our belief? This is the story of fiat currency. And its next chapter is being written right now.